right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
He'll look to throw. Connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
A handoff to Fournette. Fournette fighting through and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 11 carries, 55 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. He'll drop to throw. Shark's got it left side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Watching now, Barney, Barney. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And McDonald here over the middle. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
First carry for Central Florida alum, Latavius Murray. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the first.
So the goal is at least a first down here, right? Pick up a first down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give. This is Murray. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Allen going to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Gone.
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Couple of nice plays for Jacksonville. Another first down there.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out come the Bills. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Allen now on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
Allen off the play fake. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On play action, Allen. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Still going. It's a big play for the Bills on third down. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
3-19.
On first down, Allen. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he will take it in for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Fournette. Gets around him. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
Taylor running the option left, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man right side is Shark. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Blue 90! Blue 90! Over!
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Detroit! Detroit!
Right back to him on first down. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Back to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Tyrod Taylor, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. McManus's point after is good. And that makes the score 14-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. That was second down run for Murray. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Bills on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Set! Green 39!
A handoff. It's Murray. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept their middle by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll power his way up near the 25. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch it now, Barney.
On On third down, Fournette. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll set up a throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
But we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, it allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And McManus able to put it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And Thomas has it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
All right, here we go.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
But, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
All right, here we go.
From midfield, here's Allen. It's caught. Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now let's go.
Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll look to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Over!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 54 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. In for the score. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but then their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now up to 14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The left side completion to Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They give him a gain of 38. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does...
And this throw will be intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Jaguars getting set to go. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll look to throw again. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Green 39. Green.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. Coleman has it here right side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Allen to throw once more. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Bills on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set. Blue 90.
And again, it's Allen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Leopard. Leopard. Hot.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Jags, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.